Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the concept of stresses, strain and deformations in indeterminate shaft. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss the concept of indeterminate shaft and what does it mean. It is a shaft which is constrained by more support than are required to hold them in static equilibrium are called as an indeterminate shaft. So in case of indeterminate shaft, the number of constraints are more than the number of equation of static equilibrium which are required to hold them in static equilibrium. Okay, so from this figure you can see that this is a figure of shaft which is fixed at A and at B. So this particular shaft can be considered as an indeterminate shaft because the number of unknowns are greater than the number of equation of equilibrium, therefore can be classified as an indeterminate shaft. Okay, so this particular shaft is ACB. Okay, it is fixed at A and fixed at B, and this point C is nothing but it is the point of junction where two shafts are meeting to each other. This point C it is a junction. Okay, at C it is subjected to torque in anti-clockwise direction. At C it is subjected to torque in anti-clockwise direction. To maintain the equilibrium, where a torque is generated at A and B, and that should be in clockwise direction. So the equilibrium can be maintained by reaction at A and reaction at B. Okay, so for this particular concept of indeterminate shaft, we have to consider two equations. The first one is total torque transmitted at C. The total torque transmitted at C can be given by TA plus TB. That is, it's a sum of torque at A plus torque at B. So torque at C is balanced by the two torque at support. So as discussed earlier, the torque at C is balanced by the torque at its end A and B. Is it okay? So this is the torque in shaft A and torque in shaft B. This is torque in A and this is torque in B. Okay, the second equation is angle of twist at C with respect to A must be same as that of the C with respect to B. The second condition or the second equation for the indeterminate shaft is the angle of twist of C with respect to A must be same as that of the C with respect to B. That is theta CA is equal to theta CB. And all of you know that by using torsional formula, the angle of twist can be given by TL upon GJ of CA, which is equal to TL upon GJ of CB. So this is all about the concept of indeterminate shaft. Remember that the total torque at C is balanced by torque at A plus torque at B, and the angle of twist at C must be balanced by angle of twist of C with respect to B. So theta CA must be equal to theta CB. Okay, and our final aim is to find out the torque at A and torque at B. That is reaction we have to find out. Okay, based on this particular concept, we have one numerical statement. The statement is as follows: a shaft ABC which is fixed at A and B is subjected to torque of 42.5 Newton meter at C as shown in figure. Calculate reactions and shear stresses in both the components. Take modulus of rigidity of the brass equal to 39 GPa and modulus of rigidity of the steel equal to 79 GPa. Also, diameter of the brass is equal to 30 mm and diameter of the steel equal to 20 mm. So as per the statement given, we have a shaft which is fixed at both the end, that is end A and end B. Okay, this is a brass shaft and this is the steel shaft. The diameter of the brass shaft is 30 mm. The diameter of the steel tube is 20 mm. And the total torque is 42.5 Newton meter. As diameter it is in mm, so we have to convert this Newton meter into Newton mm. So in Newton mm it will become 42.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm, because this diameter it is in mm, so we have to convert it into same unit. So it will become 42.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. Also, the modulus of rigidity of the brass is 39 GPa and for steel it is 79 GPa. So, as discussed in this particular concept, we have to solve this particular numerical by using this equation and using this equation. So, we will proceed to solve this particular numerical. Solution is, since both ends are fixed, we have total torque will be equal to TA plus TB. So total torque, that is this 42.5 which is acting in clockwise direction, must be balanced by torque at A and torque at B. So remember that the torque at C, it is acting in clockwise direction. Okay, to balance it we must apply the torque in anti-clockwise direction, then and then only the system will be in equilibrium. Is it okay? So torque at C will be equal to TA plus TV. This is the first equation. As given in the numerical, the total torque is 42.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm, which is equal to TA plus TV. Equation number 1. Also, we have second condition for the indeterminate shaft, that is angle of twist of AC is equal to angle of twist of BC. And it, by using torsional formula, angle of twist can be given by TL upon GJ of AC must be equal to TL upon GJ of BC. Okay, so the length of the AC shaft, is 1200 mm, and for the CB shaft, or we can say as a steel shaft, it is 600 mm. Okay, so length is 1200 for the AC. For the AC shaft, the torque is TA. Okay, the value of G is given 39 into 10 raised to 3, and the value of J, polar moment of inertia, is given by pi by 32, capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4, that is pi by 32, 30 raised to 4 minus 20 raised to 4. In the same manner, we have for the BC also. For the BC shaft, we have length equal to 600 mm and the torque is TB. So that we have to find out. Okay, the value of G, modulus of rigidity for the BC shaft, is 79 into 10 raised to 3, and J, polar moment of inertia, is pi by 32, 20 raised to 4. Okay, so on solving this particular equation, we will have equation 2, that is TA is equal to 1.0027 TB. Okay, means we have torque at A in terms of torque at B. This is the equation 2. So if I put equation 2 in equation 1, we will have torque at B. Okay, from equation 1 and 2, on putting 2 in 1, we have torque at B, which is given by 21.220 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. Okay, once you know the value of torque at B, from equation 2, you can easily find out the value of torque at A also. Therefore, torque at A is equal to 21.277 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. So, in this manner, we have find out the reaction at A and reaction at B. So that is the first aim to solve the numerical based on indeterminate shaft, to find out the reaction in terms of its torque value. Okay, the second question which was asked in the numerical is, first one is calculate reaction and second one is shear stresses in both the component. Now, once you know the value of TA and TB, we can easily find out the value of shear stresses in both the shaft by using torsional formula. Okay, so by using torsional formula, we have tau BR means shear stress in brass upon radius of brass, which is equal to torque at A upon polar moment of inertia of brass. Okay, so from this equation we have shear stress in brass given by RBR into TA upon JBR. Okay, so on putting all those values which we have already find out, or which already given in the numerical, we have shear stress in the brass 5.001 MPa megapascal, or we can say it in Newton per mm square also. In the same manner, by using torsional formula, we can find out the shear stress in steel, and it is given by shear stress in steel is given by 13.509 MPa or Newton per mm square. So in this manner, for the indeterminate shaft, by using two conditions, we have find out the reactions also, that is TA and TB, and we have also find out the value of shear stresses developed in both the shaft. Now we will move to the next numerical. The problem statement of numerical second is a compound shaft ABC is fixed at A and B as shown in figure. If allowable shearing stress is 70 MPa megapascal, find the safe values of torque T at C. Take G is equal to constant. Okay, so as per the data given for the numerical, we have a compound shaft ABC. Okay, it is fixed at A and is fixed at B. If allowable shearing stress is 70 MPa, okay, find the safe value of the torque at C. So we have to find out the value of torque at C. Is it okay? Remember that the torque which is acting at junction C, it is acting in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so to maintain the equilibrium, the two torque at A and B, they must be act in the clockwise direction only. Then and then only the system will be in equilibrium. Is it okay? Now, as per the data given, we have diameter of AC is equal to 40 mm. So this diameter is 40 mm. Diameter of CB is equal to 30 mm. This diameter is 30 mm. Okay. The length of AC is 500 mm and for the CB it is 300 mm. Remember that the value of modulus of rigidity or shear modulus G is constant one. Okay, so we are going to solve the numerical. Now torque at C, that is at the junction, is given by, it is shared by torque at A plus torque at B. So as discussed in the concept of indeterminate shaft, the torque at junction C is shared by both the torque A plus B, that is at end A and end B. Okay, this is the equation number 1. Again we have second equation for the indeterminate shaft. Angle of twist in AC must be equal to angle of twist in CB. So by using torsional formula, we have TL upon GJ of AC, which is equal to TL upon GJ of CB. Is it okay? Now the value of length for AC is 500. The torque in AC, that is at its end A, is TA. Okay, it is the unknown one that we have to find out. The value of G, which is given in the numerical, is constant. Okay, so G will remain as it is, and the J, polar moment of inertia, is pi by 30 to 40 raised to 4 because diameter for AC is 40 mm. Is it okay? Which is equal to TL upon GJ of CB. Okay, again length for the CB is 300. The torque is TB. G will be constant, and J, polar moment of inertia, that is it is pi by 32 into 30 raised to 4. Diameter is 30 mm. Okay, so on solving this particular equation, we have equation second, that is TA is equal to 1.896 TB. So it is the value of torque at A in term of torque at B. Okay, so on putting equation number 2 in equation 1, we will have torque at B also. Okay, but as given in the numerical, we have the maximum allowable shear stress. This word is very important. Maximum allowable shear stress is 70 MPa. So the maximum shear stress will occur either in shaft AC or in shaft BC. But how to decide it, in which shaft the maximum allowable shear stress will occur? So remember that the maximum allowable shear stress, it always takes place in a minimum diameter shaft. That is, as per the note given, shear stress is maximum where diameter is minimum. We have two shafts, AC and BC. Okay, but which shaft, which diameter we have to consider for the value of maximum allowable shear stress? Okay, so as per the note given, we have to concentrate on shear stress is maximum where diameter is minimum. Okay, so the diameter is minimum for this particular shaft C to B, it is 30 mm. Okay, so the shear stress will be maximum in CB only. Okay, so for that purpose we will solve our numerical. So shear stress is maximum in portion CB. So by using torsional formula, we have maximum shear stress upon radius of CB, which is equal to torque in B upon polar moment of inertia for CB. Okay, so on solving for torque in B, we will have this equation. On putting all those values which we have already calculated or which are already given in the numerical, we will have maximum shear stress, we will have maximum torque in B, that is 371.1006 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. This is the value of maximum torque in B. Okay, why we have considered this particular equation for the CB portion? Because in that, for that particular shaft, diameter is minimum, therefore the shear stress will be maximum. Okay, once you know this value, from equation 2 we can easily find out the value of torque at A also. Okay, that is torque at A is 703.606 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. Okay, so as we have found out the value of TA and TB. Okay, so from equation 1 we have the torque at C, that is 1.0741 into 10 raised to 6 Newton mm. Is it okay? So in this manner, by using the concept of indeterminate shaft, we have find out the value of torque in A and B. Okay, or we can find out the value of torque at C also by using the governing equation. In this way, we have completed our unit number 4, that is torsion. In the next unit, we will discuss the concept of principal stresses and strain. So we will stop here. Thank you.